I messed up today. I did something that is going to cost me during my main channel work stuff today. On top of what has already been kind of the worst start to a week I've had in a long time. Everything feels overwhelming. I have one of the biggest projects of the year in front of me. And while I've laid the groundwork for preparation, while I have done as much as I can up to the point of just starting it, I feel stuck. I feel unable to continue. My wife shared something with me that is apparently known to most people that I was unaware of the phrase, so it caught me off guard, and that is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Sounds absurd. I would never eat an elephant, but you get the idea. You just gotta go with what you can control. A big source of anxiety, a big source of stress is worrying about things that are outside of your control. And the biggest way to kind of manage that is to accept that you cannot control everything and to just focus on what you can control. I can't entirely control what the outcome of the thing I did today is. All I can do is control how I respond to it. I can fess up to it, report it. It will probably cost me financially, and that will suck. But it's already done. All I can do is make sure I handle it professionally and move on. But I can continue putting one foot in front of the other, so to speak, and making progress instead of just panicking and wasting time. I say this as I'm recording this commentary in place of doing the work because I just need to get my thoughts kind of aligned here. But maybe that's something you can control and do too. Maybe instead of just spiraling in your panic, you can take a step back. You can go for a walk. You can take a breather, take a quick shower. You can just let it sit for a minute and really process whatever feeling is accompanying what's about to happen. And then you move on. You just push through it. You continue. You feel it out and you proceed. And for me, that means tackling this big project, even though I just had a major stumble, even though it's going to hurt when when I have to pay for it, literally probably pay for it financially. All I can do is just keep shooting, keep planning, keep prepping, get as much done as I can. So when the real hard days of doing the bigger part of the work come, I have an easier time. One bite at a time. It's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to feel that something is too daunting when you face the entirety of it head on. It's too easy to look at the whole list, your whole to-do list, as one item, or an entire project as one task, when in reality it's dozens, hundreds of smaller tasks. The list is a list of hundreds or dozens of items, and you just have to do each of those one at a time, or a couple at a time, but not everything at one time. You are physically incapable of that. Everyone is. You are not going to be responsible for that entire project, for that entire list in this minute, in this hour, maybe even in this day. But moment to moment, you can be responsible for the individual tasks. Maybe you start up small. Maybe you do the easiest things to knock out to get your momentum going. Or maybe it would feel better to just tackle the hardest or the most complex sounding task so that you can just get it out of the way and then move on to the more fun stuff. But either way, you have to keep going. Otherwise, that feeling you're feeling now, that overwhelming, that stressed out, whatever it is, you're going to be stuck there. Recognize how bad it feels now, and imagine just never leaving it, or it getting worse because of the consequences of not doing the thing you're supposed to do. You don't want that. You want that feeling of accomplishment, where even if you didn't execute to the best of your ability, perform your absolute tip top, you got it done, despite what was going on. You completed it. That is what matters. Take it one bite at a time, one task, one job, one step. and you'll be on the other side soon enough. And somewhere along the way, you'll stop feeling as panicked or stressed as you do now. And if not, well, it'll be over soon. And then you don't have to stress about it as much. Remember to be kind. Rewind.